Okay, you guys, so we're going to be doing a acrylic painting inspired by this painting right here that I did on a mini canvas, but we're going to do ours on a big canvas, okay? And it's going to look like our Christmas tree is shining. We're going to use values or lights and darks to make it look that way. All right, so you're going to start with a triangle, just like this. I've already got that drawn for you, and then there's going to be some a line right here for where the ground and the sky meet. All right, and we're going to start with the sky today. So we got to do the background first. Artists always start with the background. All right, so if you look at your plate, you're going to have white paint, and then you're going to have white paint with a little bit of this light blue, and then you're going to have just the light blue, and then we have a little bit of this bright blue, which might even be too bright. When you guys do it, I might give you a different blue, but this is all I had. Okay, so we're going to go from lightest in the middle out to a darker value, and then we're also going to do our edges. Okay, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to do just a little bit of white right here in the middle. And the reason we're putting down a layer of white is not necessarily because you want this area to stay white, but you want it to be the lightest area. So if you put some white down right here, then when you come in with any kind of color, it'll be even lighter. So I'm just going to do a section. You can't really see it. Okay, and it's okay. I'm getting a little bit of this pencil in there, but that's okay. It'll still be the lightest value. Okay, so I've got a layer of white. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to mix this up. Okay, and where that white is, I'm going to come to the outside of it. Ooh, and look, I got some on the table. And I'm going to do just kind of like a stripe, like this. Keep it smooth, up and down brush strokes, okay? And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna take that light blue, and I'm gonna do that stripe right there. Okay, now, while you're painting this, and you can even do it like this if you want to. You can flip it if that's easier for you. As a matter of fact, that's probably what we should be doing. We should be flipping it. Make it easier. I'm gonna go ahead and paint. You can see my edge right there. This light blue. Where it needs to be. Painted that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse my brush. I'm gonna get that light blue off. Okay, you don't have to get it all off, because we're gonna blend and we want some of that on there. And then I'm gonna dry it. You guys will have paper towels, okay? And then I'm just gonna get a tiny, tiny bit of water on my brush, tiny bit. And I'm gonna come back between these colors and I'm gonna blend it. So I'm taking this light blue and just right here where it meets the white, I'm blending it together. Okay, it's okay if it goes into the white a little bit, that's fine. And then I'm gonna come up to the top and blend it here. Okay, so we have white, we have light blue. Now I'm gonna use this blue. It doesn't have anything in it, okay? And I'm gonna start further in. We're not taking it all the way in, okay? But we don't want it to be all the way out here. We're overlapping and doing a fade, okay? And this is how you do a fade, like an ombre. So I'm gonna bring it in a little bit. And I'm still going up and down. And this one, I'm gonna take kind of out to the edge. And then I'm gonna paint the top, okay? And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna start it in a little bit like this. Yeah, I did do a little sideways paint right there, but for the most part, you want to keep it going up and down, up and down. Okay, so this side already looks more blended than this side, and that's okay. I'm just gonna, you can rinse your brush, or you can even just wipe it off on your paper towel and get most of the paint off. And I'm just gonna come right back in again, just like I did before, and kind of blend that little section right there. Okay, and so now the last color is this bright blue. And honestly, I feel like this blue is way too bright. So I'm gonna change out my blue and I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, so I got this navy blue and that's gonna make me so much happier. All right, so now all I'm gonna do is take some of this navy blue. I did not rinse my brush. It still has some of this light blue on it. So when I paint with it, you can see on my plate, it's gonna make kind of a lighter color. And that's okay, because it's gonna blend with this anyway. And just like we just did, I'm gonna come into a little bit the section that we just did. And it's just an up and down blend. Almost looks kind of greenish, but that's okay. That's just this color. You guys will get a true navy blue, but it doesn't bother me. I kind of like that greenish tint. So I'm painting it all the way to the edge, this color, and then just kind of bringing it in. You see how I'm smoothing all the paint out. And I'm gonna paint the top on this edge corner, just a little bit of that blue. And if you get a spot like this one that's too dark, just get most of the paint off your brush and kind of blend it. And always just blend it out like that. All right, and then I'm gonna take and paint the edge down to here, that dark blue. Okay, and before we've even done our tree, look at how the background already looks like it's kind of shining. It's going from lightest to darkest. And now that I've got it flipped, I need to kind of blend a couple of these edges, but that's okay. By the time we're done, if there's an area that's not fully blended, it'll be okay. All right, now we're gonna do our snow, and your snow goes back and forth like this, okay? So our sky, we want it up and down, so our snow is gonna go back and forth. And we're gonna start with that white again. So I'm gonna rinse my brush really, really good. Okay, and then I'm gonna start with this white. And the snow is not gonna be the same as the sky, where it's all gonna blend and like from lightest to darkest. We're gonna paint it all kind of this white color. And then we're gonna come back and do some shading on top of that. So paint your whole snow area white, and it's okay if you get some grays or some blues in it a little bit. We're gonna add some in anyway, so it's fine. Okay, so for this section, we definitely want to do some shadows under the tree, like the tree is casting a shadow, okay? And we didn't do trees in our background because we're really focusing on this tree right here, all right? And we don't have time to do all that, okay? So what we're gonna do though is we're not gonna use our darkest blue. We're gonna come back and we're gonna use, you can use this one or you can use this one. I'm gonna say let's use this really, really light one first and maybe do a few little like shadows off to the side here. and just kind of blend them out with the white, okay? So these are like shadows in the snow. And then we're gonna do a shadow right here where our tree is. So I'm gonna come under it. We wanna do our shadow first because our tree is gonna kind of sit on top of this. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this lighter color and I'm just gonna kind of blend it out. And you want it to kind of end up like a triangle that's kind of patchy. So you're just going back and forth like this until you get a shadow right there. Super simple. Okay, when you're done with that, if you mess up with this part, that's okay. Raise your hand and one of us can probably come help you kind of fix it, or at the very least, blend it out a little bit, okay? And it's gonna look weird today because we're not, once we get the tree in there and everything, it'll look really good. So it might look a little crazy today, but it's gonna look good next time. So once we're done with that, we're gonna blow dry this for a second. It doesn't have to be totally dry, but go blow dry it for like a minute or two. And then if we have time, we'll go ahead and lay in our background colors for our tree because those take 2 layers. Okay, so go blow dry it and come back and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so I did get myself some yellow, but you guys won't have yellow. You'll have like this kind of yellowy green, this darker green, and then this really dark green. And what these are for is the same thing as the sky, except on the sky, the lightest value was in the middle. And on this one, the lightest values are gonna be on the edge. Like the tree is shining outwards. Okay, so we're gonna take and do a stripe of each color. Okay. And then we're gonna do the darkest color in the middle right here. All right. And then we're gonna let it dry. And it's gonna look really weird this week, but next week we'll do another layer with these 3 colors where we do like some little texture of the tree. And then we'll do the ornaments and it's gonna look much better after we do that. Okay, so I'm gonna take this lightest green and my medium paintbrush. We're using a medium paintbrush. This is not like detail work. And I'm gonna trace it to the outside. And it's okay. We're gonna do a second layer of this. So it's okay if it's not perfect. Okay, then I'm gonna take this next green and I'm gonna do it right here. Okay, and then the final green is this one. So you got white and 3 blues, and now we're gonna take our 3 greens. I'm gonna shade it in. All right, that's all we're doing for today, okay? So you are gonna get your picture made with this, even though we're not done. And then you're gonna let it dry. Okay, and make sure this bottom part, it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth because we're gonna come back and we're gonna do little texture lines like this next week, okay? So just let it dry, and next week we'll come back and we'll do our texture stuff. But it's already looking, if you can see it in the video, like a shining tree already.